Can you tell me that you have never said something tongue-in-cheek to a reporter? In all the times you've been interviewed, you've never said something condescending or tongue-in-cheek?
No, right,
Please support this channel by subscribing and leaving comments.
That's how I can determine that the tracks are real. Well, he found in the Indiana tracks, that he couldn't tell. Yeah, and then I don't want to belabor, but I really can't help him, feels good. He says in his book, page 241, every time I read that stuff, just put, one of my function has been to serve as a role model for them, his students. One of my major character defects is my honesty. Again, it was never my intention to become the leading academic authority on Sasquatch. Let's go over in his book. The quality of my research is the source of my recognition. You damn right it is. And he says, and the same way, I just fell into it. Yeah, right on his head. Sports Illustrated 44, I got a copy of it here. That guy really did a hatchet job on him, but Culver says, he really bitches. He has a whole paragraph there where he's bitching about this guy writing this article about him. By the way, Culver there says he tried to take a gun on that helicopter to shoot the Sasquatch, and of course we all know Culver never said he would shoot the Sasquatch, right? Yeah, right. In the Sports Illustrated article, he says, we were just smoking. He said, this jerk, he didn't call him jerk, said that if we find the Sasquatch, myself and my wife, he quotes Krantz that they will go down to a South Sea island. He said, we never said that. There isn't a word about the South Sea island in that article. I must have read it 20 times. Yeah, here. Page 244, I never said I will shoot the Sasquatch. Not the insane thing as any hunter, he writes, if we can find out where bears die, think about this one. If we could find out where bears die, we probably could find out where Sasquatch died. Where the hell does Krantz think bears die? Does he think they pack their cheap suitcase and take a cheap flight off the boat? They die out in the bush. So we know where bear dies out in they die out in the bush, right? Well, we all know that the Sasquatch are also out there. And he wrote about this twice in his book. That if we really would find out where bear dies, we really could resolve it. He says in there, he said that in 22 years he spent $100,000 of his own money on Sasquatch research. Yeah, by going all around the world. He says here, publication of this book will make a modest contribution toward improving their situation, reliability of reports. Anyway, and then, okay, now, well, what the hell? This is one of the, did you know Krantz has the Gang of Four in Bluff Creek, in Walla Walla. The Gang of Four. He gives some names. You know, after I read that, I looked at the cover of the book here to see if his name was Beckshort. Where's this damn thing? Here. He gives this damn tracks names. You know, this guy's supposed to be a scientist, and it's in a university. Must be something in the damn water over there. And when all this went on, all this disaster here, what did the university do? They made him a full professor. They rewarded him. You know? That's just like a guy being in a mental institute. If he stays long enough, they make him the director. But, you know, look, this fellow is an adult. He's not a little kid. He's not Beckshort. He calls them the Gang of Four, right? He gives them names. Big Daddy. That's Thermal here. Earl. That must be Big Stover. Then, look at him in this book. Page 168, 69, 65. And then he has Wrinklefoot, you know? And, so, you know, don't quote Grover Krantz ever. Because, but after all this went on, you see, now we come to really what really made me say all this. I wonder what morals and ethics the people have in Poland, starting from the president on down to the head of the anthropology department and everybody in that department. Internet, worldwide web page. Worldwide. For sale, Sasquatch Daze. Talking about all these drugs. And their authenticity has been verified by Dr. Grover Krantz, the foremost scientific authority on Sasquatch. Here, you can look at that yourself. Punch it out. His authenticity, I looked it up in the dictionary just to make sure I know what the hell I'm talking about. That means genuine, real, right? Yes. As I said to somebody, if you buy a painting of Rembrandt and it is authenticated by whoever it is in the art museum, you assume it's a Rembrandt painting because it's authenticated, right? Now when Joe Blow from Kokomo punches in this number here of this thing, says, wow, I get authentic Sasquatch Daze. What he's getting is the Walla Walla crap, selling other people's cast without permission. The Bossberg Daze, selling without permission. The handprints, Bossberg, Thermal, which I got this, I know it's there. Big Daddy here, I think. Another handprint from Walla Walla. Who do you make check payable? Washington State University. And there is not one researcher who ever did anything on Walla Walla who accepts anything coming from there. You can only be a moron so long till one starts to doubt if you're not also a damn crook. You know? And not only does he sell fake tracks, you see, Green said this. Now, you know, I mean, I'm not the Weasley type. Green says, well, you know, remember last other year he said, how do we know that any of these tracks are real? How do we know that any tracks are real, made by a living Sasquatch? Which is true, but which is also not true, for the very simple reason. If we believe that the Patterson film is real, and I don't think there's any doubt that the tracks which were found there then will be connected to the creature. The tracks were there. If we believe the Patterson film to be real, then the Bluff Creek tracks are real, the 14.5-inch one. And all Bluff Creek tracks are consistent and uniform shape. They are not like this one here, where the little toe is back here, the next one is up here, and this one then over here. All the Bluff Creek tracks, as you well know, just have this uniform shape. Sure, some of them are a little wider, but basically what, the 6 or 7 tracks which were found in Bluff Creek over the years, different sizes of tracks, had a uniform shape. I cannot believe that there are other Sasquatch in the rest of North America, or Pacific Northwest, in Oregon and Washington, all of a sudden come up with feet like this or this here. If the Bluff Creeks, the thousands and thousands and thousands of footprints having been found in Bluff Creek, if they are real, then these ones are all fake. Because I just can't believe that one species can have their foot structure so deformed, so different from place to place. Sure, some of them are whiter, some of them longer, some of them this, some of them that. Somebody was talking about back there about the depth. Then I'm going to close about snowshoes effect. You know, at one time we thought, oh yeah, you can tell the tracks are in the ground, they're so deep, and we didn't leave a mark. And I jumped off a log, and I had my Uncle Harry on my shoulder, which weighed 300 pounds, and we didn't leave a mark. We did in some of the books. I made my tests in Bluff Creek back in the 70s, long ago. Well, it's very simple. My foot is about 33 square inches, okay? A 16-foot Sasquatch track is about 100 square inches, roughly, 3 times. So calculate my weight, 175, came to 550 pounds roughly for the big tracks. I was 175, 3 times the size of my foot, 3 times the weight would be 550 pounds, whatever, okay? Taking everything equal, if a Sasquatch is walking there weighing 550 pounds, he wouldn't go deeper in the ground than I am, because his feet are 3 times that size, right? So therefore, what I showed down there like a picture was very simple. Has to do with momentum. Go down the beach, the faster you walk, the more you roll your foot, the deeper your tracks. You know? Sure, weight has to do, but you cannot find, you have to, you know, I personally don't give a damn how deep they're in the ground. You know? Well, I do. I'm not concerned with that. My concern always is when I look at tracks is, I want to know if this damn tracks are real. And I look at the toe position, I look at this and look at that. And as I said the other year when I gave my little talk about Walla Walla, where I really, that was in 87, talk about naive up to that date. Probably going to say the same thing 20 years from now. You know? But I learned more about footprints from the Walla fake tracks Freeman found when I was there. because I suspected they were fake, so I really took a look at it. And I realized what can be done, what he did, you see. So I learned all these things. It's just like, as I said, if you never saw a fake Rembrandt painting, I don't give a damn who they are, or any of these other paintings which were forged. How do you really know if any of them are real? Did you see Rembrandt painting the damn thing? So that's the same with Sasquatch tracks. We have to have some type of standard, some type of measuring stick, like the Patterson film is everything is measured against that one. Every other movie ever been made and have been made and will be measured to it that night thing. The same with the Bluff Creek tracks. I think there were more tracks found in Bluff Creek than probably any place in the world over the years at the time. And we have to have some kind of a standard, some set of tracks where we measure all the other ones against it. Otherwise, any damn hole in the ground is a track. Anyway, any question? I don't think there are any. I think I said everything that happened. Oh, by the way, I don't want to bring that up as well. What all of you should do. Remember a few years ago there was this choker over in Germany, wrote the Hitler diary. Did you ever, any of you read it? Heard about it? This guy went there, wrote the Hitler diary, and then he had some other chokers who wanted to believe, sold the Hitler diary. Millions of dollars disappeared. Some of the biggest publishing giants in the world got sucked into it. Read it, buy it, selling Hitler. Since I'm totally concentrated on Sasquatch, anytime I see a woman walking down the road with tight pants on, a little hefty, I do my anthropological studies. I do. I watch the way she walks and compare what I see on this damn Patterson film. When I read the book, whatever I do, I try to pick bits and pieces which might work. And what this book really showed, boggle your mind, how somebody being so typical Freeman, this guy was so careless, so dumb. And he sucked in all these people. Because one guy started jumping around, and next thing you know, everybody in this damn thing got sucked into this thing. So it's a very interesting book when you want to compare some of the big hoaxes in the Sasquatch field. That's it.
Questions?
Have a look at the tracks here.
Does anyone have any questions? Go ahead.
Do you think that some of the tracks you've seen are real?
They're the Bluff Creek tracks. 28th of August, 29th of August, 1967, up on Blue Creek Mountain. I got photos which nobody ever saw because, whatever. Hey, they look good, they're consistent. You even can see where they are wider here, down there, than they are up here. We even thought there were two 15-inch track ones there, because further up, the thing kind of circled around here. 15-inch tracks were narrower here than they were down there. Someplace you see where all the toes to the ground dripping, and then you see where they're stretched out. 52-inch step, which is a long step. I don't know. Bossberg tracks, which are very, very complex track, the crippled foot. But are they real? Because Marx was involved, so clouds that whole Bossberg. Yet they are very, very complex tracks. Napier thought they were real. I don't know.
Question?
Didn't somebody try to bait the Bossberg Sasquatch?
Huh?
Didn't somebody try to bait it?
Sure.
Whose idea was it?
Well, Titmus put some meat up in a tree, and there was an old bicycle baskets there, we put apple and oranges in and out to eat. We figured he needed dessert after meat, you know. I said to the other guy was making, here's this damn piece of meeting. I said, you know, God damn it, that will make a good supper. We weren't sure if there was poison in it or not. I said, shit, we're not gonna touch it, you know. What a joke that was. Well, it was interesting, you know, but I don't know.
Question?
Yeah, René, have you felt that you maybe heard any screams?
No, never ever smelled anything, heard anything. In fact, I never found tracks of my own, except the Bosberg tracks where I was right there. But that doesn't mean anything. I spent all this time in the Pitt Lake area, over there, over in the Harrison Lake area, down in Bluff Creek, over in Bosberg, not just where the tracks were found, all over them damn valleys, say that I never, ever found the damn track myself. I never heard any screams, I never smelled anything, when I'm out there, I just, you know, I'm too realistic, I guess. I'm not from Ohio. But,
Another question here?
Yeah.
Don't you think that this Mr. Krantz is just making a good business out of all of this? And
Well,
the more fake stuff comes up, the more money he makes.
No, I don't think it's the money angle, which either he isn't man enough to say, look, I screwed up. Hey, I did. Mission thing down here. So you say, Jesus Christ, I better learn from this to keep my mouth shut the next time. You know. No, it's not the money. That's not his motive.
It seems to me that on purpose, I don't think he's a believer in the Sasquatch. He's faking this himself in order to...
No. I never accused Gogo of faking anything. You know. No. But I think he might have, I don't know, publicity does an odd thing to people.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he just says,
Money and publicity, that's what I think.
but what I don't grasp is that he's throwing these casts on them tables in his lab there. Incredible array of casts, you know, it's just boggle your mind when you look at them. And he stands there with his sort of smirk. His smirk on it, maybe it's his natural thing. And he never blinks an eye, he's not ashamed of it. I'm puzzled. You saw him, yeah?
Can you tell me that you have never said something tongue-in-cheek to a reporter? In all the times you've been interviewed, you've never said something condescending or tongue-in-cheek?
I usually tell him right blunt what I mean.
Okay. That's right.
No,
So he's not quite blunt then.
if you think Grover was choking, you think he was choking? That's what John Green says. He was choking on that tape.
He was.
No, he wasn't.
No, that was pretty
Hey,
serious.
didn't you hear what I told you in here? Where he says,
But do you know, ask Barbara, do you know he was serious? It's your perception, René.
perception?
Yeah.
Didn't you hear statements, I'm the greatest, I'm the biggest, there's nobody like me since Leonardo da Vinci. You know when Leonardo lived?
Yes, I know.
1400 something to 1510 or something, so Grover for the last 400 and what? 56 years? Thanks God for that. Somebody said to me, is there anything good you have to say about Grover? I said, yeah, he doesn't have any kids as far as I know.
Question in the back? Go ahead.
The University of Washington is a fairly prestigious institution.
Washington State. He's at Washington State.
Have you presented this to the...
Yeah, I wrote them 3 letters. I phoned them. I just got their answers back. I even give you copies of the letters. They do not think that there is any... I wrote them that he's selling fake tracks, that he's selling my tracks, that he's selling other people's casts, You see what Grover is doing, I have him on tape. He tells people, look, let's say you find drugs, okay? He will come to you and say, gee whiz, wow, you know, and then he says, can I take him with me to the university? I'm going to make copies. I'm going to bring the original back and an extra set for you. I'm going to use them for scientific analysis. But do you think anybody would be stupid enough to give Krantz his cast if he would say, let me have them, I'm going to make 10,000 copies and sell them on the World Wide Net and stick the money in my pocket? He didn't tell him what he's doing. So I wrote to university. I got the letter back just the other day on, what, Friday, Thursday? Yeah. They don't see anything wrong that they're selling this garbage to the world.
But it's fraud if it turns out.
Of course it's
fake.
fraud.
The university has their name, send the funds to such and such, you know, university. I mean, aren't there any regulations on?
They are authenticated, which means they are declared real Sasquatch.
By their own man. Yeah.
Not by the...
Yeah, there's no objective proof.
Well, anyway. It's this is what, you know, there isn't one researcher in the whole of North America who does this. We respect each other's stuff. We might give each other copies of drafts, you know. Say, look, here a set of cash, look, don't screw around, you know, don't make copies to everybody in the store. They're for you, you know. And you know, we have no problem. None of them is going advertising for sale. So,
A comment here, May of June of 1982, Paul Freeman allegedly saw a Sasquatch, and apparently it was then that these thermal ridges showed up. At the time, Grover Krantz was in China when the sighting happened. He was flying home. I confronted Grover, a man by the name of, well, the point is, you think that René is giving him extra harsh treatment because he has a PhD and he just doesn't like him.
of course I do.
Look, Grover Krantz was in China flying home back to the United States when Paul Freeman allegedly had his sighting in May of June of '82. And also he saw these dermal ridges in the tracks. They called in Joel Harden from the U.S. Border Patrol to investigate the tracks. And apparently this guy's pretty good at doing investigations of tracks. And he declared the tracks fakes.
Before or after he examined them?
Before, Joel Harden was there before Grover Krantz.
But there is literature out there to suggest from several eyewitnesses that he stated before he had examined.
You know why?
They were fake.
Nobody ever asked that question. You know why? Yeah, go
The
ahead.
point I'm trying to bring out, so when I met Grover Krantz for the first time in June of '89 in Pullman, Washington, for the symposium they had up there, I said, Grover, you never spoke with Joel Harden. Why? And he says, well, I just didn't think his opinion was of any importance.
You know why Joel Harden?
Finish the sentence. What else did Grover say? Because I asked him the same question.
Basically, he just blew him off. Because
He blew him off because there were several people who said that he had stated before he ever got on the scene.
Exactly. You see, the difference is, I'm probably the only one who went to Joel Harden and interviewed him. I came to Walla Walla, I talked to Wayne Long, the Forest Service, and their Polaroid photos. I looked and said, what the hell is this? Joel Harden looked at these photos from the sighting tracks here. There, that's the sighting tracks there. Have a look at it. He looked at the photo and said, what a load of crap. He didn't say that, but that's what it was. So he went up there like me with his alarm bell ringing, you know, lights flashing. Go over, look, if somebody says to me the Patterson film is fake, I go and talk to him. I mean, if I know he knows something. I say, why do you say this? Joe Harden looked at the Patterson film. I asked his comments about Bluff Creek tracks. We debated them. I said, I know what you're saying, you know, scratch my head.
If you're enjoying all this rare and unique content, please show your support by subscribing and leaving comments.